Mallory is a loser who listens to a 22-year-old dude. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Nick Rants about another terrible day in the Big Brother 28 house. Yesterday might have been the most abysmal day of feeds yet, because I am so over the bad gameplay. It is such a weak, no guts, no agency gameplay. At least the last two seasons, when there was bad gameplay, you still had an entertaining cast overall, or a cast that had enough people playing their own games, even if the gameplay wasn't good overall. But to have bad gameplay with a boring cast who is actually afraid to play the game, the worst. So all I can do today is shit on people's games. I'm going to be dragging people's games today. First, though, I do want to give some credit to Taylor and Yash, who have at least tried to have some guts this week, wanting to play and change some shit up. You know, does Yash eventually give up because he is surrounded by losers? Yes. Although another terrible thing about Yash's game is that he has zero real game relationships. Like, I don't think he is in anyone's top three. Like, anyone's top three to take to the final three. But I guess a pro to that is he is not a target right now. Taylor is willing to give up Lala this week. We saw that last week. Taylor is going to vote however she votes, even if she's the only one. And that's a real G, especially on Big Brother, where these days everyone is afraid to play, apparently. Which brings me to the two biggest pussy-ass bitches I've ever seen play this game, Barrett and Drew. Drew and Barrett are a huge part of why this season sucks and will continue to suck ass. It's because of them. It's obviously because of production and the returning vets too, and giving the vets too much power. But because Drew and Barrett want to kiss ass all season, even though the crossovers have not met as an alliance since week one, they still want to protect that alliance, to kiss the vets' asses. I'm so sick of watching Barrett and Drew, and I will not shut up about them postseason either. Drew stans will have to hate me. I don't think Barrett has any whatsoever anyway. I'm also done with my fallow Pisces Mallory until she is away from Drew. She lets him get in her head the most. Mallory usually comes to the right smart conclusions to gather numbers because there's clearly another side, but then she never fully goes through with it because she goes along with what Drew says eventually, because Drew is always trying to have a unanimous vote to save his position, even though his sloppy gameplay is already catching up with him. Drew is the reason we have not had these thrilling votes this season, because he's always pushing for unanimous votes to save his own ass, even though his sloppy gameplay is catching up with him anyway. So Mallory did backpedal from her plan to save strong numbers in Jason and Mallory this week, and no longer cares to save Jason because she let a 22-year-old dude get in her head. You know, 80% of the time on here I will defend Pisces, but what is there to defend about Mallory right now? A Pisces that doesn't listen to their gut and intuition. What even is that? I know people that don't care about astrology won't care, but like a Pisces that doesn't follow their gut and intuition is a loser. Mallory is a loser who listens to a 22-year-old dude. Luckily, the walls are closing in on Drew's game anyway. You know, Haley has heard about Drew slipping up the night before. Angela was pushing it so hard the night before. Kamu has all this information now. Devins is suggesting that they need to force Drew to pick a side, force his hand to vote out Mallory if they have to. We'll see if they go through with that idea today. Taylor did get Mallory's head back in the game only momentarily because Drew just took her head out of the game again later that same night. I'm glad that Taylor is seeing the game well overall, because I will always respect a real one. I wish Taylor would just lock in with Kamu and Devins. Like, she obviously is never going to be Devins' number one, but she wouldn't be his target anytime soon. I genuinely think she could be Kamu's number one. That man's crush on Taylor continues. He made sure to hug her last night when he was in the pool, making sure to say, my upper body's not wet, I can still hug you before you go to bed. Though I do need to say Taylor goes to bed too early. She needs to stick around up late at night when plans are always changing. But it was not even smart for Mallory and Mallory to be so eager to stop trying to save Jason. Because Mallory being so eager to save Mallory but not Jason, it doesn't even make sense. They know that Jason is a shield for them. Mallory could literally go home this week if Jason wins Blockbuster. So why wouldn't Mallory fight harder for them both to stay so he can stay a target in front of her? If you are on the block and you have a chance to go home this week and you know the HOH is pushing for you to go home this week because Drew has told Mallory that Kamu wants Mallory out this week if she's stuck on the block next to Lala, why would it not click in your head, Mallory, the supposed rocket scientist, that you need Jason in the game too? Because clearly the order is Jason and then you. Where's the brains? Oh my god, this cast is so stupid. Then Mallory is considering not telling Taylor that they aren't keeping Jason or telling her last minute. But these two fucking idiots are constantly spilling games to Drew and Barrett, who they know is playing the middle, but don't want to have a number in Taylor, who they also need. Again, where is the logic? None of this makes sense, and I am pretty over it. I do hope they tell Taylor last minute. And then Taylor decides, well, if you're not going to keep Jason, I'm not going to keep Mallory. And then Mallory gets her ass voted out. And frankly, I'm going to be blunt. Not like I'm not already on the blunt side, but these other side losers are so bad that Lyric is still having to hoe herself out after already being in a showmance this season to try and stay kind of safe. Just to stay kind of safe. Because the side that she is on refuses to have any real cohesion. Like, I've gotten to the point that the only thing that I can enjoy about this season going forward is watching this entire cast of losers eventually be eliminated. Because nothing else is going well, and we still have over 2 months left of this season, which is crazy, because this season is not good. This is an awful, awful cast. I can say who I don't want to win this season, and that's Drew Barrett. And I guess Angela's ass too. If Devins or D wins, so be it. I mean, it's clearly what production wants, and they're not even trying to hide it. I'm like a step away from just rooting for Devins since he's clearly production pet anyway. But yes, I would even take a Kamu, Chug, Haley win over Drew, Barrett, and Angela, because that's how much I blame them for ruining the season. It is Barrett and Drew's weak bullshit and Angela's paranoia that she's constantly pushing that has got us to where we are in this season. And I will also say, I dislike Kamu, Haley, Chuck. I've been dragging most of them every single day, and I'm not going to stop because I don't like them as people. But at least they are themselves. Is Haley a miserable cunt who is a hater and a very aggressive person? Yes, but that's her being her asshole self. Is Chuck self-hating, and does Chuck hate women, even though his whole spill coming in was that he wants to work with women because he has only sisters? Well, Chuck wasn't being himself in that intro video, but he is being his ass clown self in this house. But I don't respect Drew and Barrett because not only are they fake ass bitches within this game, I don't like them as people or players because they just don't have any backbone. And it's not even smart. Like, if Drew was being a rat and it was working, I would respect it, but it's not even working. He's at the bottom of the alliance still with all of his ass kissing. I can't see Drew winning. I just don't see how he's going to gather enough votes in the end to win with the kind of game he plays. But I am concerned that Barrett could somehow coast late into this game and win without deserving it one bit. But I hope neither of those two win because I want to be able to drag them for the next year. And I want the same with Angela, but I will say this, whether Angela wins this season or not, I will still be dragging her Karen ass in the postseason. I don't care if it goes against the grain of the rest of the Big Brother community that does nothing but fall in line and kiss ass. I've always done my own shit on this channel and will continue to do so because Angela's Karen energy this season is out of control. She's trying to make it seem like Taylor gives her dirty looks so that she can convince Dee and I guess herself that Taylor suddenly doesn't like them. But once again, it's Angela's paranoia. And it's this group again trying to paint someone into a negative light to make themselves feel better, when at the end of the day, Angela is an egg-shaped Karen. So going forward, I want whatever hurts Barrett and Drew the most to happen, especially this week. If that is Mallory going home, so be it. The vets are considering blindsiding Drew and Barrett with the Mallory vote, though the vets are the ones that could end up getting blindsided because right now they're kind of telling Drew and Barrett that they are considering keeping Mallory, but the vets don't realize that the votes could be there to keep Mallory without them, Haley and Chuck, unless Mallory and Melody ruin it with Taylor and Taylor doesn't vote that way either. Also, Angela really seems to want to keep Mallory, but Dee still really isn't listening, and right now Angela's saying she'll do what the HOH wants. The Hateful Eight Alliance is considering trying to make Drew and Barrett fall in line and say this is how this week's vote is going to go if all 8 in that alliance can meet to try and pressure Drew and Barrett to do their thing. But Melody is threatening death to Drew if he doesn't keep Mallory this week. Either way, if Drew and Barrett are blindsided or if the vets are blindsided, until proven otherwise, I expect Drew and Barrett to fall back in line like the good little pussy-ass bitches when it comes to kissing vets' asses that they are. So yeah, Jason seems to be the last person that could really shake up the house, but it requires him winning the blockbuster and then winning HOH, which is quite a long shot. I like some of Jason's ideas about nominating Haley with Chuck or Kamu because Haley would be so quick to turn on them, and he wants to watch it happen, and so do I. He said he would love to see Haley squirm, and so would I, and he wants to see her turn on Chuck, and I do think it would happen. Would love to see it, but I'm expecting the worst this season. But hopefully Lala or Mallory go home this week. We could have a Waffle Wednesday today, but I don't trust any of these people to not be afraid to play the game, because so far they are a bunch of scared players who don't want their own agency in the game. It's very pathetic, and it is making for miserable feeds.